Welcome to Mr. Fisher Flips 3rd grade. Today we're going to be learning about the 8 times tables. Some of you might think they are the hardest ones to memorize, but they're a cinch once you get to know them. Because 8s are great. And for parents, sorry, but 8 is enough, right? Well, here's our agenda for today. Anytime problems. We're going to do some modeling for you so you understand how to do the 8s. We'll revisit what fast arrays are and how to do them. I've got some tips and tricks that you might help you understand, and some quick practice. But I'm finding that you really need to do the quick practice on your own, so we'll get to that. But fours and fingers. What do fours have to do with learning the 8s? And how to use your fingers when doing the 8s. And there's some drawings on how to make that work, and got some homework for you, and I'll post some more videos on the website so you can be able to. Okay, our lesson objective today, 8s, that's great. We're going to learn the patterns that help us count by and multiply problems and divide with 8s. So let's get started with this as a warm-up. Raphael has homework in math, English, and social studies. How many different ways can he complete his assignment? I made an S cube for social studies, an M cube for math, and an E for English. This will be one of your first problems. I'd like you to do this on your own, but I'm going to help you do it by showing you some of the patterns. I'm going to grab the S first, and he's going to study his social studies first. Then he's going to study his math. Then he's going to study his English. What other ways can you do? Stop, pause the video, and see if you can figure out how many different ways he can do it. There's a number of ways that you can do it, and we'll discuss how many ways those are in class. Hopefully that warmed you up, because we're starting out and we're going to get going on exploring and modeling. First part, modeling. Uh-oh, where did my math board go? Here we go. Oh, good. The circles stayed in their spots. So if you'll count with me, we have 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, 3 times 8 is 24, 4 times 8 is 32, 40, 48, 56, 8 times 8 is 64, 9 times 8 is 72, 10 times 8 is 80, 11 times 8 is 88, and 12 times 8 is 96. Well, we can also practice our skip counting, and what we do is we count off by just saying the numbers, and what we're doing is we're actually counting by 8. So 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, 96. And if you print this off, or I should get you guys a copy of this so you can do it at home also. But then you can practice doing some of these patterns. Well, here's another pattern for you. And I actually stole this from the book. So you can actually count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you count 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And by putting those circles down, the person was able to figure out how to get up to 10 times 8, which is 80. Well, let's look at the patterns. In this column we have what the product is. In this column we have the factor of 8. And in this column we have the other factors. So if we take 1 times 8, we're going to get 8. 2 times 8 equals 16. 3 times 8 equals 24. Well, let's look out at the other side. We take the product divided by the quotient, and we get the other quotient. So 8 divided by 8 equals 1. Let's try a couple. What about, don't look, 56 divided by 8? What is that? 56 divided by 8 equals 7. Try another one. 8 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. So, practice. You can see some of these patterns and we'll discuss them in class as we go along. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, let's do 5 jumps of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we use the number line, we can find out what 5 times 8 is. And if we multiply, it's going to show us that it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps to get to 40. And so it shows you 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. How many jumps would it take to get to, let's try 6 times 8. Multiply. And we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 8 equals 48. And so we can check our answer by checking 48. Way to go! Moving on. I'm finding that we need to practice what strategies are. So I've given you 2 strategies right here, so you understand that there's different ways to get to the same number. And we've got Johnny and Meredith. Johnny, he likes to use what is known. He knows his 5 times tables really well. And so what he does is he takes 5 times 8 and he knows that's 40. And then he's going to add 8 more to get 48. Then he's going to add 8 more to get 56. Do you see the original problem that he was trying to find? He was trying to find 7 times 8. And that was the original problem. And he had a hard time finding it, so he used his strategy by using the 5s. Let's get that to go back where it was. Now, Meredith, she used a different method, a different strategy to try and get to the same number. She had to get to 7 times 8 also, but she knew what her 4s were, and she used a strategy known as doubles A 4s strategy. So she knew 7 times 4 equals 28. So go ahead, 28 times 2 equals... Oh, you don't know your 28 times tables? Neither does Mr. Fisher. So, you know what Mr. Fisher did? He suggested to Meredith that she add the 2 together. 28 plus 28, and guess what her answer was? Haha. 28 plus 28 equals 56. So, both Meredith and Johnny used different strategies to get to the same number. They were trying to find out what 7 times 8 equals, and both their answers came up with 56. So when you come to a problem that says use a strategy, there's 2 strategies there for you. And I'm sure you can find some other ways to get to 7 times 8. Well, fast arrays. Remember fast arrays, we take and the numbers across are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so that 8 is a factor. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the other factor. And remember, we can put dots across here to find how many dots are going to be total within that rectangle. Well, the 2 numbers on the side are factors, correct? What's this number right here in the center? What's it going to be? The answer to multiplication problems are products. Good. You can multiply these 2 side numbers, 8 times 6, the factors, to get the center number, the product. You can divide the center, if we had the center number there, we could divide the center number by either one of the sides to get to the other side. And you can write 8 equations for faster, or what we want to do is show you that this is faster than drawing all the circles. So, has anybody figured out 8 times 6 yet? Let's click the answer and find out if you're correct. 8 times 6 equals 48. So 48 is, yep, the product. So 48 is the product. Let's see if you can do this next problem without my help. So pause the video, see if you can find out the product divided by the factor to get the other factor. I guess this is problem number 2 on your assignment. So pause the video and rejoin in the video. Let's move on. Let's do one more for fun. Do this problem. This is problem number 3 on your assignment. We have the product of 72, and we have across here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 times something equals the product 72. Or we can say 72 divided by 8 equals this other number. So use some strategies to figure out that answer. That's problem number 3. Pause the video. Here's another couple of my tricks. Actually, I'm just going to show you this pattern. If you look at the very end number, so I'm going to center right here. If we look there, we have in the ones place 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. And in the tens place we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. What happens? You have in the ones place another 8. Then in the ones place another 6. Then in the ones place another 4. Then in the ones place another 2 and 0. Do you see how you can actually take the 8 times table, lay them out, and you can see the pattern right there. Quick practice with the 8s. I'm going to skip this, but I do want you to practice your count bys. A good way to get Arizona skip counting is to go on the website, and the Hal Palmer is also there. I should have this Twin Sisters up this weekend so that you can be able to hear those. I'm trying to do one a week. Be patient with me. But pause the video and do your count bys, do your mixed up times tables, and your mixed up divides. Okay, you can also use the multiplication table. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72. Or you can go down. Same way. Now, this should go home Wednesday. So you'll have your 6s, your 7s, your 8s, and your square numbers. Make sure you're coming up with some new games. I invented a game where you're using your 8s. Write a word problem. Go for speed. See if you can go fish with your 8 times tables using your answer fact cards that we gave to you. Well, here's the 4's times tables, and so I'm going to do a skip counting with it. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. And if we take our pen, we can actually find some 8s. 8 times 1 is 8. We move it over. 8 times 2 is 16. Move it over some more. 8 times 3 is 24. What are we doing with the 4's? We're actually skipping each number, every other number, aren't we? Skip again, we get 40. 5 times 4, or 5 times 8 is 40. So 8's are very helpful when we use the 8 count bys. What other patterns do you see? Every other 4 count by is also an 8's count by. Why does this make sense? Because there are 2 4's in 8. If you put 2 groups of 4 together, you get a group of 8. Maybe that will help you understand the eights better. Now that we've learned how to use the fingers, see if you can find out 4 times 8 equals 32. So use your fingers. Thumb equals 8. Thumb and index finger, 2 times 8 is 16. 3 fingers, 8 times 3 is 24. And 4 fingers, 8 times 4 is 32. So you can actually count 8, 16, 24, 32. And what would it be with your pinky up? 8 times 5 is 40. Let's go on to the drawings. Here's 3 different ways that you can look at the drawings of trying to find 3 times 8. 3 groups of 8 dots. Look at that. There's one drawing. Here's an array, or what they call an area. We can do 1, 2, 3 rows times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns, and 3 times 8 equals 24. Or you can do a fast area drawing. This is similar to a fast array. 3 different ways to draw the answer. We're going to go to the very end so you guys can see your homework. And right here. One of the things you can do is play chess. If you notice, there are 8 by 8. How many squares are on a chessboard? That should be a bonus question. How many squares are on a chessboard? The game of chess is played on a board with 8 rows and 8 squares and 8 columns, called files of 8 and ranks. Files and ranks. So, those that know how to play chess, you might be able to help us on Friday. Here's your homework. Pause the video. I'm going to make this big again so you can see all of it. I've got 2 fast arrays and some fast multiplication, unless you need to use the multiplication table, your count by charts, your multiplication other sheets that we have. And you can find out 6 times 7, 2 times 6, 42 divided by 6, 30 divided by 6, and 6 divided by 6. So you can find the answers there. I gave you one problem that's a problem solving. Mickey has 3 planting boxes for her flowers. And on Thursday you'll be learning how to do this. But just as a quick reminder for those that do their homework on Wednesday, 27 divided by 3 gives you this number. And if you know that's 3 and that's 6, these are your 2 factors, so 3 times 6 equals that number. This is called a magic number box, and you have to find out what these blank squares are. So you start with what you do know, and you try to work out the numbers. I'll let you try and figure that out. If you do have a question on this, you can ask me about it on Thursday. So, pause the video for that. Pause the video for that section. And pause the video for that section. So, on the website, there will be this video.
And now it's time to make a figure 8.
The figure 8 video. That has those kids doing a figure 8 in the classroom, right? Little Penny doesn't know her 8 times tables.
Figure 8 is double 4. Figure 4 is half of 8. ice skate. You would be great if you could make a figure 8.
That's on the website, or will be. Have fun by teaching, counting by 8 song, and I'm gonna pause it here so you guys can watch the rest of that on the website. With that, we're going to call it a night, and that is the 8 times tables. So, good night.